Okay, welcome to another episode of Thoughts and Bolts. I'm your host, Pedro Laveria, and today we have a short one for you about Lockheed Martin, one of my favorite companies. Now, I don't say that sarcastically. I'm an American. I live in Asia, and I understand that we need companies like Lockheed Martin to make the next weapons that'll win the next world war. Okay, so I totally respect secrecy and everything they do. Um, but we're also going to talk about crash retrievals and reverse engineering. Uh, now, I've gone over this before. Please watch my series on the UFO, Pentagon UFO leaks. Basically, it's all about Bigelow Aerospace Advanced Space Studies, i.e., the OSAP program. Please watch episode 9, episode 10, and episode 11 to get the basic gist as to why I and many other people believe Lockheed Martin has material technology from a non-human intelligence. As crazy as that may sound, it's most likely true. Now, what I want to do is go over a little bit of what that kind of looks like and how Lockheed Martin pretty much, just admits it without admitting it or accidentally admits it. Um, you be the judge, okay? Now, let's go over the day after Roswell, Initial Revelations by Colonel Philip J. Corzo. Um, he supposedly got his hands on the Roswell material, some of it, and was ordered as part of his job in the military to dish out some of the smaller handheld technology to, you know, companies, technology companies. And supposedly that's how we get some of our modern technology today. But his description of the Roswell craft is very interesting. I want to focus specifically on the claim that the entire vehicle functioned just like a giant capacitor. In other words, the craft itself stored the energy necessary to propagate the magnetic wave that elevated it. Okay. So, in other words, according to Philip Corso, the Roswell craft, didn't have fuel cells, it didn't have a gas tank, it didn't have batteries. The craft itself stored the energy that was necessary to propagate a magnetic wave that it used to fly. Um, a similar description comes to us from Jim Lukatsky, Dr. Jim Lukatsky, who ran the OSAP program on behalf of the Defense Intelligence Agency, that is the Pentagon. And he said that apparently we do have a craft, and this craft did not have an engine, fuel tanks, or fuel. Um, so it had a streamlined configuration suitable for aerodynamics, etc. So again, you have a craft without any fuel tanks, any batteries, any fuel, coming from Jim Lukatsky, and then you have Corso saying that the craft itself is the battery, so to speak. Now, some of the smaller handheld materials, if you go to Witness for Roswell, you get um, something that, UFO people have heard forever, but basically the descriptions of the memory metal, right? So some of the stuff that, was part of the debris field in Roswell and other crashes. Apparently, you could, pieces of metal that you could wad up in your hand, fold it like tinfoil, and then when you open your hand, it would fold back out to its original shape. Okay, so that's the so-called memory metal, right? Just imagine again, you fold a piece of tinfoil in half, put a crease in it, put it back on the table, and then it flips back out to its original shape without the crease. Okay, so that's something Roswell witnesses reported. So, with that in mind, let's go to this little commercial from Lockheed Martin that they put out 11 years ago. Okay, this is before UFO mania. Okay, before the fingers really started to get pointed at them. And tell me if it reminds you of anything, shall we?
I work at the Skunk Works, and it's got a legacy of doing the things that people don't think can be done. Flying very high, flying very fast, making airplanes invisible to radar. Where do we go next? That's always the fun question.
Right now our airplane designs are very reductionist. We have fuel over here. We have the cockpit. We have the engine. They're all separate parts. What if we could integrate those parts together in a holistic manner?
Can we do things like embed the carbon nanotubes to make conductive structure so that information doesn't flow through a wire next to a structure, but literally flows through the structure?
We'll be able to grow or make a structure that, say, is the skin of an aircraft, that inside of that is also contained the sensors or the energy storage or many different multiple functions.
New materials that are on the lab bench right now, they can literally change shape on command. They can become almost a muscular material.
We could have an airplane that optimizes its shape for the different flight conditions it's in.
There's definitely a lot of amazing technology that's going on with the Lockheed Samurai, based on a small maple seed-like looking device. The fact that we can package enough energy for something like that to fly and still carry a sensor, a camera, enough control capability for it to fly is amazing to me. As we go forward, we're going to find new ways of using these unmanned vehicles.
They'll probably be autonomous, so they'll be like UAVs, but carry cargo around where there are currently no infrastructure in place.
We may have small swarms of small vehicles interacting with a larger vehicle that basically combines the information from that swarm. So maybe one vehicle flies a small distance and another vehicle learns from it and knows which way to fly.
Probably what makes sense is a heterogeneous swarm. One where not every element of the swarm is the same. Some elements of the swarm carrying sensors, some carrying other types of electronics. So it's an adaptable system that can adapt to a changing environment and a changing future that is difficult for us to predict.
The true value of research is not in the answer you get that you knew you were looking for, but the answer that you find that you didn't know to look for.
Or the answer that falls out of the sky onto a ranch in New Mexico during the 1940s. I mean, it's a great American company.
I'm Bill Crossley, professor of aerospace engineering. I'm here.
That's great, Bill Crosley. I want to show you what was really funny. If you look at the comment section, somebody said, "Tell me you reverse engineered a UFO without telling me you found one." So I mean, hey, it seems what it looks like to me. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Tell me in the comments below. Um, Again, that video came out 11 years ago, okay, in 2014. And this was before UFO Mania, right? And after OSAP, after OSAP, but before UFO Mania, right? So please watch my series here, especially to keep it short, part 9, part 10, and part 11. Um, but yeah, I mean, they just describe stuff that we know about from Roswell or have heard about from Roswell. Um, and it just really, basically, what you have here is a convergence, right? You have the UFO lore, right, about the Roswell crash, and then you have this modern technology from Lockheed, right? Um, and here they are separate, right, to the average mind in 2014, right? And 10 years later, as it starts to come out that, Lockheed Martin almost certainly has, very likely has, some crashed UFO material from a non-human intelligence. Suddenly, these two kind of, lines of inquiry meet in the present day. thanks to people like David Rush. So again, like and subscribe. Okay, Lockheed, if you're watching this, I respect you and I love you and I thank you for everything you do. But like and subscribe, please. That's what everyone says because it works. Let's make this channel grow. If you think it's worthwhile, because I do. I enjoy making these videos. So thanks for watching. And until next time, please remember that your consciousness is not classified. Learn to meditate. Good night.